So on my long ride homes, on my commute, I have time to think and process, and I'm very analytical, so I'm always trying to make connections and figure out how to help hurting people, how to help heal the hurting world, because that's going to make our world have less problems. And the saying is, hurt people hurt people. So, when there's tumultuous, problems that the hurt people are exhibiting, and then they're passing that cycle down to their children, the thought is, how can we fix it? How can we prevent it? Well, prevention is part of it, of course. But after, the harm has been done, for example, some of the parents that are parenting, on a more, what's the word? Edgy way, very edgy, authoritative, a little more on the aggressive end. They were actually, sometimes they were abused as children, and their discipline was out of anger and emotion instead of logic and, talking it and teaching them the lesson. So there was a lot of fear created in the child, and there's a lot of, now that the child is grown, there's a lot of coming from that kind of aggression and forced fear, because they were going to get beat for any and everything and yelled at for any and everything. Now those children that become adults, they don't have any, because they had to endure that as a child. Now that they're an adult, they have no patience for any type of disrespect, because they were disrespected so badly, and they weren't allowed to have independence or, self-love or anything. It was they lived in a very critical environment, made them feel all types of ways. So now that they're an adult, anybody that even hints to make them feel like that, they can now have a voice, and they can now say, no. Whereas, people from a more healthy upbringing, they can, logically say, this person's having a rough day, they can be more graceful and understanding, or they can just get over disrespect a lot easier. And they don't get offended as easy, because they weren't put through a series of daily disrespects on the constant. So they don't have the same type of feelings as far as being disrespected, or a hint of disrespect, or a hint of negativity, where this new adult is not putting up with none of it, because they had no choice but to put up with way too much of it as a child, and not get enough of their needs met, as far as emotional needs of feeling loved, feeling accepted, feeling protected, feeling the opposite of fear, which is, security and peace. They had the opposite of all the things that children are supposed to feel. So now there's a void. They want to feel that love, and unconditional love, and safety, and security, and being respected for the person they are. All these things that they did not get as a child, they have to have it now, because there was such a void. So that's where you'll get a lot of the personality disorders, and until that void is filled, until they can get balanced. They were given one extreme, and now they went to the other extreme because they're trying to balance what was put inside of them, in their mind, in their hearts, in their spirit, in their soul. So, I know it's really hard because they can seem very abrasive. They can seem so mean and so full of tumult and anger, aggression. But if we could just have the heart to maybe be patient with them, more patient than, they're not giving us very much patience, but maybe for them it's a whole world of patience. But if we could just hang in there, if we're able to, and dig a little deeper, or wait till they open up and tell us their story, I think we would be surprised to find out everything that they endured. And when you hear their story, and some of the abuse they endured, I think we'll be more likely to give them grace. And even when they're coming at us with some seemingly negative ways, or anger, or being emotionally disturbed or something like that, that we can have patience with them and long suffering until they get healed. A lot of things that were deposited in us as a child, it has to come out, and also they have to renew their mind, because everything they were taught and everything they experienced, it's gonna have to have an output. It's gonna have to come out. So then when they get an adult, they can choose. It just takes time and it takes effort, but they can choose to renew their mind and give themselves everything that they weren't given, that they did need, and it wasn't right, because these are needs for children, and if their needs aren't met, it's going to be a void. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. This is some of the thought processes I have after leaving some of my work with my clients at Family Services. And I don't want to forget this, because I don't know what the future holds for me. And if I get to a different career path, I don't want to forget the lessons that I've learned while working with these, beautiful families for these couple years. And some of the families, the beauty is there. The beauty is there, just like a diamond. Sometimes, the coal, there's a diamond in the coal from the pressure. So even though things might look dark like coal, just remember, even though they've been through a lot and they might exert a lot, the pressure is going to form a diamond. So these people a lot of times have to work 10 times harder to have peace, and 100 times harder to have peace and love and calm and serenity and all that. So we have to give it to them, because it's really sad what they had to endure. And so if we can stop that cycle, and instead of adding fuel to the fire, or stooping to a level that we don't have to go to because we might have not had those experiences, if we can just meet them with compassion and understanding, and be like water to the fire, or cool, to balance it out so it doesn't have to rage on, I think that would be nice for us to do. It's the least we could do for these dear children, because inside, some people, if not all, is just that inner child. And like I said, if that inner child was through a lot, it's not really gonna be able to mature until the needs were met. So anyway, that is my message from my thoughtfulness on my drive home, my commute from work. And I don't know if it'll help somebody, but someday I'll look back at this and maybe it will help spur me on to continue to do the work I do in helping people and helping the world become a better place, and helping hurting people not have to be hurt. It's just a memory that I wanted to have for myself, so I can know to work on it.